It's taken me over a decade to realize this, but you need to brainwash yourself for success. You need to brainwash yourself to be the person who is worthy, to be the person who impacts others, to be the person that you are striving to be. You need to start imagining yourself as that person. And so I didn't understand it for so long. I thought, is that just faking it before you make it? Is that just lying to myself? Until I realized, and you got to realize this as well, the self that you think you are currently is an illusion. It is an illusion because it will change. It will change, and it always has changed. There's no continuous identity. The person you are today is not the same as the person you were a year ago, a month ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It's an illusion. It's an illusion created in your mind that makes you think that you have a solid identity, but we are changing all the time. I studied a whole philosophy degree. I thought about these things, and it is very divisive, it is very sneaky, but you need to inquire into the nature of yourself. You do realize to succeed in life, to succeed in what you're doing, you need to understand what it takes to succeed. You need to understand the equipment that you're using, and ultimately, you're using a mind, a body, and a self. There is a self involved within the process. You need to understand the mechanics of the game of life. And not only that, you need to understand the game. Have you ever thought about and brought to mind, what is your purpose? What are you doing here? What do you want to do? These things you need to get clear on. You need to start thinking about it, and then you need to start defining and creating a vision of who you are to become, who God is calling you to become, and you need to claim it for yourself. I want to share with you a little story from the Bible. It's one that is quite close to my heart. It's the story of Jacob and Esau. So there's these two brothers, and they want a blessing from their father. And Esau is the worthy one, and he is the strong hunter older brother. He has a rough, hairy chest, and he can hunt and provide. And Esau's father wants to give his blessing to Esau. But Jacob is called by his mother to go out into the field. And by the way, the father is blind. He goes out into the field, chops up some goats, right? And basically, he tricks his father into getting Esau's blessing. He puts the goat's hair on his chest, so he feels like Esau's chest. He cooks, like his mother cooks up this goat meat to make it look like they have hunted the animal. And basically, Jacob goes in, deceives his father, and receives the blessing from his father. And Esau is furious. And at first, when I listen to that Bible story, I think that's a bit deceptive. Like, is the Bible teaching me to be deceptive here? And then I thought about it, and I realized that it's actually teaching us a lesson. And that lesson is to claim your blessing. Claim who you are meant to be. Become the person who is worthy, and you will receive the blessing. You're not born, worthy. In fact, you're programmed by the world to feel unworthy. You're programmed by the world to be less than. It is up to you. It is your job to actually create in your mind a new level of being, to go beyond what the world has told you about yourself, and to go into a more godly character, to become more Christ-like. Let me share with you something really simple. Your brain, your being, and who you are, and your identity, and who you think you are, determines your actions. It will determine whether you do something or whether you don't. If you are not that kind of person, then you're not going to do that type of thing, because your brain is going to govern the actions that you take. And the actions that you take then impact the world. And if you aren't taking particular actions, so example, if you're not going to the gym and lifting weights, then you're not going to get jacked. It's just pretty simple. And the reason why you may not be going to the gym is because, hey, I'm not a gym person. Hey, it's a bit of a waste of my time. And you create this story in your head, right? And you've brainwashed yourself. You realize you've brainwashed yourself to be not that kind of person, and you think it's truth. You're just so deep into the illusion that you think it's truth, and then you go ahead and act in that way. And then the other thing is that if you were to open yourself to a new level of identity, and you realize that your identity is being made up, and you truly realize that, then you could choose to create the identity that you would like. You could create a Christ-like identity. You could practice being Jesus and being Jesus to others. You could read the Bible, and this is one thing that I recommend. I don't know if it's sacrilegious, but you should go into the Gospels, go to where Jesus is doing his works and miracles and teachings, and replace Jesus with your own name. And when you do that, imagine that you are taking Christ-like actions and you are perfectly emulating Christ's. Just replace Jesus and let Jesus be planted, Jesus' actions and words be planted in your own mind. And what would Jesus do? Practice Christ-likeness within your own mind. It's going to impact your actions, and that's going to impact the world in a really beautiful way. But not only that, when you change what's within you, your identity, it's actually going to influence the world directly. Like someone who is confident, the world almost bends to their will. Someone who is loving and caring, the world will respond to that. You go out into the world believing in yourself fully, and people will believe in you. You go out into the world and you trust yourself fully, and people will trust in you. If you trust in God, then you are trustworthy because you have something to trust onto. So the thing is that all the changes begin in here, right? Everything begins in here. And when you change something in here and you start brainwashing yourself to something more godly, to more beautiful things, to more wealth abundant things, and you go through and look at all the things that are limiting you, you can change your world, change your results, and change how people react to you. If you see yourself as a 2 out of 10 guy or 2 out of 10 ugly person, then that's what you're going to project onto the world. And the world's going to treat you like that because you believe you are like that. You have betrayed yourself. But if you start changing your own mind and say, for example, you congruently and fully believe that you are a 10 out of 10, right? Then what's going to happen is because you believe it, the world's going to try to challenge your belief. But if you truly believe it and you've made the decision and you've made the declaration that I am a 10 out of 10 and you feel it, then the world will start bending to your will because it's a game of influence. We either influence the world or the world influences us. And Christ teaches us that we are in the world, not of it. So don't be connected to the world. Don't be connected to your past. You're not defined by your past. You're not defined by the world. Go into your mind right now. What are you dreaming? What has God placed in your heart? And then imagine yourself to be the person who would be able to fulfill your dream. Imagine who the person would be that could be able to fulfill their dream. Imagine being Christ-like. And it will take root in you. But before you do that, sometimes, I'd say most of the time, it's actually easier to realize and awaken to the fact that you aren't really yourself. Like, you think you're lying to yourself when you're trying to imagine being Christ-like or imagine being wealthy, imagine making a lot of sales. The thing is that you're actually lying to yourself and you don't even know it about who you are right now. This identity that has been created, it's not fixed. It is not fixed. It is an illusion. It's something that you are experiencing. You are not it. That's all for today. If you would like some coaching or support, I always provide it. I'm there. I will always give you a free session where I'll serve you, I'll help you out, I'll give you the most love I can, and it's never any strings attached. If you would like more service and more coaching afterwards, you can ask me, and you can ask me and I'll show you what I have. But I'm really kind of committing to helping and to serving as many people as I can. And I want to give to you in that 1 hour. I want you to experience what coaching is like and what it can do for you. It's done wonders for me. It is one of the most beautiful experiences to be coached. It's like having your mind massaged. It's like having your mind set right. And it really has been very powerful. It's impacted all areas of my life in many profound ways. And that's why I have a little business on it. And to be honest, I'd like to see coaching in more people's lives. I'd like to see people be benefited by that. And I'm most interested if you're wanting to create something in the world, you're wanting to do something, you're wanting to go out there and serve others in some way, then I'm really interested. But if you just want to find some peace of mind, then we can chat and we can look into how you're creating your own misery, okay? Or how you're creating your own problems. Now, just because I am a coach does not mean that I am perfect with all of this, okay? I struggle with all of it. I get coaching myself, but I'm continually becoming more and more aware. And I just feel like my life has turned around in so many beautiful and valuable ways. And I'm here to share the gift with you as well. So thank you. God bless. And if nothing else happens, I hope you go to God. I hope you go to prayer. I hope you journal and speak into being a more beautiful and positive way of being in the world. And I'm wishing you all the best. Thank you. Much love, Jacob.